Arsenal are very close to pinning Bukayo Saka and Miles Lewis-Skelly down to new contracts. Fabrizio Romano has given an exclusive with regards to Bernardo Silva, and we have got some transfer updates with regards to Viktor Gyokeres, who prefers a move to Arsenal over Chelsea, as well as Liverpool lining up a summer transfer for Bryan and Mbeumo. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Smash these to pieces and make sure you have hit that subscribe button. We're steamrolling our way towards 60,000 subscribers. We're about 800 away or 750 away, apologies, from 52K. And of course, we will be here later for hopefully 3 points for Spurs. But I'll be honest, I think there's going to be heavy rotation. And I'm expecting a draw later. I think Tottenham will draw with Forest. But we're going to start with the news regarding Liverpool. And this says here that Liverpool are lining up a move for Brentford kitman Bryan and Mbeumo, despite Mo Salah signing a new contract. Now, Bryan and Mbeumo this season has just hit 25 goal contributions in a Brentford shirt, which is absolutely insane. He had 1 assist in the League Cup in 3 games. He's got 18 goals and 6 assists this season, 25 GA, absolutely ridiculous. Last year, he got 9 goals and 6 assists. The year before, he got 9 goals and 8 assists. This season, 18 goals. And you put that alongside Johan Wieser as well at Brentford, who also has 16 goals. You know, them two together they remind me in terms of their impact very similar to Kane and Son, in terms of they are the two main, driving forces in that Brentford team this season. He's absolutely ridiculous. He really, really is. They won at the weekend as well, beating, was it Crystal Palace? Oh, no, Crystal Palace drew. Beating Brighton 4-2. They moved up to 11th in the Premier League. They're only about 3 or 4 points off of 8th, so they could have a good end to the season. In terms of Liverpool, now, according to a lot of reports, Darwin Núñez will be leaving Liverpool this summer, and they are looking at pinning down or sorting out Konate, Luis Diaz's contract situation. I think Bryan and Mbeumo, the way he can play, as a false 9 out on either side of the left or the right, I think he would be an unbelievable addition to that Liverpool team in terms of his output, in terms of his creativity. He's a fantastic finisher. He ticks all of the boxes. Premier League proven. He's now coming up to 40 Premier League goals in his career, which is a really, really good return. I think overall, he's got more than 40 goals. Coming up to 50 Premier League goals. He's 25, 26 in August. He's a good age for Michael Edwards. He doesn't really like signing players over the age of 27. And he's just got pedigree, hasn't he? 18 goals this season. He scored more goals than any player in the Premier League for Liverpool other than Mohamed Salah. And as you can see, this says despite Mohamed Salah signing a new contract. So look, I think he'd be a great addition. Newcastle have been heavily interested as well. And there's also reports of he could be available for about £50 million. Arsenal as well have been interested. Now, we have actually got an exclusive from Football Insider regarding Viktor Gyokeres, and it says Arsenal have opened talks to sign Sporting CP striker Viktor Gyokeres in an early summer deal. Negotiations have taken place behind the scenes to convince the striker, who's 26, and put together a package to secure his signature. Gyokeres is now the first choice striker target at Arsenal, who are prioritising a deal for a number 9 this summer. More on the Football Insider website. Arsenal open talks to sign Viktor Gyokeres in early deal. Now, David Ornstein said a couple of months ago that it's more realistic and it's more likely because of the fact that if Newcastle make Champions League, which you would say at this moment in time is probably likely, that they, if Forest win today, they would be down to 4th in the Premier League. They'd only be a couple of points above Chelsea, a point above Manchester City. I am still backing this Newcastle United side to finish 3rd or 4th. I think they've got a good set of fixtures coming up. And I think it's going to be very hard for Arsenal to get the likes of Alexander Isak out of that team. I think he will stay at Newcastle. Viktor Gyokeres, on the other hand, there's a lot of reports out there that he's chosen He prefers a move to Arsenal over Barcelona and Chelsea. I personally think out of all the strikers they've been linked to, he's the one that just looks the most likely to happen. He's the one that out of all the players they've been linked to, I think, you look at his numbers. He scored a free kick at the weekend. His numbers are absolutely ridiculous this season for Sporting, both in the Champions League, both in Liga Portugal. 34 goals and 6 assists, 40 GA in 29 is ridiculous. He also got 7 GA and 8 in the Champions League. He scored in all competitions this season 44 goals, which is absolutely ridiculous, and got 9 assists. So you're looking at over 50 GA this season for Gyokeres. You look at his numbers in a Sporting shirt. In 2 seasons, he's accomplished 63 goals. You're talking about an elite number 9. You compare his numbers per 90 to you're looking at the best out there in terms of you look at his overall numbers per 90 minutes. They are absolutely ridiculous. I think he would be the best option at the moment. He's available apparently for £70 million. Other reports are saying 80 million euros. You look at his numbers, you look at the players he's compared to on the right: Kylian Mbappe, Vinny Jr., Jackson, Thuram, Omar Mamouche, Boniface, Alexander Isak. The numbers are absolutely stupidly high. Progressive carries, top 3%. Progressive passes received, top 2%. Non-penalty goals, top 15%. He's absolutely ridiculous this season. And, I do think out of all the players, I think he will be the one they will get done. And another bit of Arsenal news coming out from Hand of Arsenal. I don't know how reliable this source is, but it says Arsenal are progressing very well in talks with Bukayo Saka over a contract extension. Saka will become the highest paid player at the club with new deal. Now, Arsenal, look, Saka has been unbelievable since coming back from injury. He was really good home and away against Real Madrid. He's been really good this season overall, bearing in mind he's been out for 3 months. The world-class tag, I think we have to just be honest, this guy is world-class. If you don't believe it, I think you have an Arsenal agenda. Turn up at the Bernabeu in the quarterfinals, dinking Courtois. Takes real cojones. And he's just a phenomenal player. And you look at what Arsenal want to do this summer. If they get it right, they can go and win the Premier League. I really believe so. And then another bit of transfer news in regards to Arsenal is Kingsley Coman. Now, I don't really particularly rate Kingsley Coman. I know he's won a lot of trophies. I know he's got a fantastic CV in terms of silverware. But you look at his goals in a Bayern Munich shirt, he has never registered 10 Bundesliga goals. I don't think he's worth the money. I'll be honest, I think his better days are past him. The most amount of goals he's ever scored in a Bundesliga season is 8. His best season he's ever had in the Bundesliga is 15 GA, playing for Bayern Munich around world-class players at the time. I think Arsenal deserve 1 goal in 11 in the Champions League this season, 2 in 7, 1 in 7, 2 in 9. I think they just need to move on from the whole Kingsley Coman scenario. Fabrizio Romano has given an update with regards to, I think it was Bernardo Silva, saying essentially that, what did he say it? It was recently, wasn't it? I could have sworn he said something about Bernardo Silva. Was it Fabrizio? I think it was Bernardo Silva he was chatting about. One second, let me just grab the link, guys. Oh, here we go. Manchester City have informed Bernardo Silva that it's time to leave the club. He has expressed a desire to return to Benfica. That's from coming out from City Report. I did see something from Fabrizio Romano earlier today, but I haven't actually got the actual report right now. I am trying to find it. But Bernardo Silva, I mean, Manchester City legend, well, he's 30 years of age. I think, again, his better days are behind him. I think they need to look at potentially bringing in a younger sort of player who, has a lot more qualities. I'm not saying Bernardo Silva doesn't have qualities, but there's a lot of people saying it's the end of the journey. Transfer News Live. I think Fabrizio has actually moved his tweet. It might have been on YouTube. breaking news: Manchester City have warned Bernardo Silva that he will not part of the plans next season. And look, it's sad, but it does happen like this from time to time. He's been a fantastic servant for the club, part of that treble-winning team. You know, big important goals. But look, he will be moving on. And Manchester City as well, losing Kevin De Bruyne. It's going to be the start of a new rebuild for them. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Manchester City do in the upcoming transfer window. You know, they've already started this rebuild a little bit, bringing in the likes of Omar Mamouche, bringing in the young Uzbekistan centre-back. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. I'll be back here later for a Minster match reaction for Spurs. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get the 3 points against Forest. And I will see you all soon. I am out.